Good afternoon, everyone. Today's story is natural healing from bogs. A bog forms when a waterlogged area builds up thick layers of densely packed, partially decayed plant life called peat. Although the condition sounds simple, lots of water plus lots of plant life minus adequate drainage, and the creation of the bog takes hundreds of years. The thick, wet turf covering a bog has so little air in it that only certain specialized plants can grow there. For example, the thick leaves of some plants help to conserve nutrients that they must produce above ground through photosynthesis, rather than drawing them from the soil. Plants that thrive in the highly acidic turf release nutrients for their less hardy neighbors to use. Perhaps the most common plant growing in bogs is sorghum moss. Vast stretches of this simple plant carpet many bogs and eventually mix with other plant life, then decays to become peat moss. We can burn peat for fuel and often add it to sandy soil to increase the soil's water-holding capacity. The American Indians cut the absorbent stuff into strips to use as diapers. Peat also has medicinal purposes. Ancient peoples used many of the plants growing in a peat bog, including cranberries, for healing. Even now, one Russian factory produces an ointment from peat for the treatment of eczema, ulcers, and burns. During World War I, peat moss served as a surgical dressing for wounds because something in the moss seemed to control infection. One surprising use for peat moss is mud baths. First taken to treat rheumatism in the 19th century Europe, and since the 1950s, a German doctor has used peat baths with amputee patients and injured athletes. You see, people can take a peat bath at a higher temperature than water baths because of the way in which the peat distributes the heat. A person who takes a 30-minute, 118-degree Fahrenheit peat bath raises his body temperature by 1 degree, which in turn dramatically increases blood circulation to speed healing and to reduce pain. You stop and think, folks, with all our human formulas for healing and comfort, sometimes the best ways are still the natural ones. As you look at these photographs, stop and think, this is one of God's cures that He made for us. And our text today comes from Jeremiah 17:14. Heal me, O Lord, and I will be healed. Save me, and I will be saved, for you are my praise. These bogs takes hundreds of years to create, and when you look at them, you think they're wastelands, but there's many uses in those bogs. Everything from medicinal plants to being able to burn it for fuel. God has a plan for everything, even for us. Let us always remember that. Y'all have a blessed day.